Bearcat Bounce Podcast. Back at it again. Monday bye week in the past. Monday won the bye week. Yeah. Monday leading into game 1 of the Big 12 schedule. Trip to Kansas. Monday following Cincinnati Reds in the running. Chance to get a little bit of October baseball going. Monday also where basketball schedule dropping tomorrow. Big 12 teams, Big 12 dates coming out tomorrow. Big 12 sports enthralling. Football program rolling. That means we're gonna be joined. We've got a GOAT coming on yet again. A friend of the pod, back at it again. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome in the guys, the crew, the squad. Everyone is assembled. Aaron Smith, Chad Brendel, Ryan Royer. And how about this? 1,279 rushing yards and 24 touchdowns as a senior at Detroit Catholic Central for the Shamrocks, a 14-0 record. State champion his senior year. Football alumni spotlight. That's right, Nico Palazzetti. Gentlemen, how are we?
I mean, that's a heck of an intro. I didn't do nothing like that.
Yeah. We had greatness like that on the show today. I know he knows his way around barbells and stuff. I didn't know he was, toting the rock like a young LT back in the day.
Peaked at 17. It's been just a plummet downhill ever since. So thank you, Brent, for the kind introduction, man. I appreciate it.
What was that?
That's better than us.
Yards per carry, I think.
None of us ever peaked. So like it's just been downhill. Like birth and then line down.
Yeah.
Royer was Mr. Bearcat, and he blocked a punt. So I guess that was probably
ECU, Royer's peak.
He had like 8 sacks in a spring game one time.
He did.
Yeah, going against the kids were going to prom the day after, so it's a little bit easier when the O-line's thinking about how many Snapchats they're going to get at prom and not about me blitzing up the middle for 5 plays in a row. But I'll take it, Chad.
He did it, man. I was freshman class president in high school. Peak.
That's huge. That's huge.
That's my peak. Yeah, we'll take that. But no, this is all of our peaks right now. Nico, back on the pod, baby. Golly. Well, Chad, how are we? Got to do around the horn real quick. Let everyone get in the room. How are we? How's the weekend?
15 hours at a volleyball tournament Saturday.
Nice.
So that was a lot. That was a lot. I don't even want to get into it. It didn't make any damn sense. But yeah, it was a long day. And then yesterday, did you know there's one of my favorite things in the world is Mongolian barbecue.
Oh.
I love Mongolian barbecue. I didn't know that there was one in Anderson. So last night we went to the Yummy Bowl in Anderson, and I've had some Mongolian barbecue for the first time in a long time. Nico, are you a Mongolian barbecue fan? Do you know what it is?
Yes, massive.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. It's one of my favorite things on the planet. I devoured a bowl of a gigantic, because you got to fill that thing up like this, right? I devoured a bowl of Mongolian barbecue last night. It was amazing.
What is that? Like some wok stuff? You like you
So it's like hibachi, but there's like a buffet spread, and you get all the items in your bowl, and you pile your bowl up, and then you get sauces and seasonings, and then you give it to the Mongolian barbecue guy, and there's this huge round barbecue that they put your barbecue on, and they chop it up, and then they slide it into the bowl, and then they bring it out to your table.
Oh, all right.
So it's like hibachi if you got to pick all of the ingredients that you wanted to eat. So like I had some sausage, some steak, some shrimp, some lo mein noodles, broccoli, baby corn, water chestnuts. Like it was loaded.
Just a little bit of broccoli, just a little bit of
carrots. Oh, the vegetables are a key piece. Like, but you can you make sure you got room to stack the meat up
Right.
as high as you can. But
Yes, you
the
do.
vegetables are key. You got to get some vegetables in there.
Yeah, especially because Nico's on the pod. Yeah, just go ahead and say
Shout
Couple
out
snow peas in there.
Yeah, shout out to Yummy Bowl in Anderson. It was outstanding. Way to go.
No free ads, but yeah, shouts to them.
They didn't give
Aaron.
it to me free, so it wasn't an ad, really.
Oh, whoa, okay. Holly. Well, Aaron, Athens is getting hit, like what? The Wizard of Oz, Kansas, trying to put that all together there. The storm is a brewing. And
I don't know. I haven't heard any thunder since in about the last 5 minutes or so. So maybe we make it through the pod without getting the power knocked out. We'll see.
That would be nice. Good weekend though.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Reds are in the thick of it. The Bengals look pretty damn good too. I mean, hey, right?
No, they do. What game were you watching?
Just trying to be.
What game were you watching?
Positive.
The Bengals look god awful.
Hey, Aaron, positive Monday, brother. Positive Monday. It was 17-3 in the middle of the second quarter. Positive Monday.
The only positive is the clock hit zeros. That was the positive of that game.
It's a good point.
It was over.
Trey Tucker. Ryan Royer, the boy. How are we?
Doing well, man. It's Nico Monday, so the week's starting off on a damn good start. But had a good weekend. Got some Adriatico's pizza over at the crib. A mini keg of Cincy Light, watched some football, so can't beat that. It was a great Saturday night. So
I got to get something.
Uh-oh.
I think I know what he's bringing.
I think I know, dude.
Something that we could wear right now in the rain to help weather the.
He's a full model these days. Did you see those model pics he threw up on
I saw the man.
X.com, the everything app, you know.
I caught myself staring at it a little too long. I had to.
Me too. I was like, what's that thing? The blue steel. I think he was giving a bit of that on the old X.com.
Look at this bad boy.
Jeez, dude.
Nico, you need to wear that on the road.
Jacket.
Old school starter jacket. It's got the kangaroo pouch and the Velcro pouch.
That is my eyes are like, that's like looking into the sun, dude. That is unbelievable. That is beautiful.
Fire.
Cincy Light on the back.
Goes perfect with the Cincy Light sign right behind it too.
I mean,
live in the Cincy Light Studios, man. This is just golly, man.
Just go to RyanGuyscott.com, go to the shop, and you can have yourself one of these. They are for sale to the general public. But yeah, I can't wait for one of those nice fall days in Nippert Stadium because this thing's not coming off this fall.
Oh,
It's phenomenal. And it's soft, it's comfy.
Yeah.
Oh.
And in case anyone was wondering, a 5.2 gallon Cincy Light keg, $73 at Party Source. Not a bad deal. It tastes great out of the keg. If you guys have had a chance to try one in your backyard, I highly recommend. It lives up to every bit of it out of the can or at a bar. So Cincy Light was flowing this weekend. It was awesome.
Royer, I'll see if I can get you a handle, a tap handle, Cincy Light. See what I can do.
That would be nice. Thank you, Mr. Brendel.
We're hitting on all cylinders right now. Golly. What you got for me, Chad? What can I have? Okay, fair enough. Well, you know what? Without further ado, Mr. Nico Palazzi, my man. I mentioned those stats. I rattled those off, but you know what? It is pretty cool. You were featured in the football alumni spotlight for your old stomping grounds. What were your thoughts on that? How was your weekend? And obviously, we're going to dive into way more. But how are you, man?
Thank you, Brent. We are right. We are trending up. This is incredible. So thank you. And the team I was on in high school, we have our 15th year anniversary state championship team. Jeez. Ironically, we're also inducted into our school's Hall of Fame. So that was the occasion. And I guess I won't be able to be there. It's the Iowa State game. So for good cause, very important game for us. But they made me, I guess, the featured alumni, and they asked me to type up a bio, and they asked me to include some pictures from UC, from Michigan State. So I said, absolutely, would love that honor. I typed up a very condensed bio, and I sent in some photos, and they used none of it. They didn't use the bio or my picture. So that giant mug you saw was me at 17, peeked out, and I was laughing. So no, it was definitely an honor, and I appreciate the shout out. Thank you, dude.
What was the give us like one monster game you had? Because obviously 24 rushing touchdowns and in a 14-game season, you had to have one where you just went off.
They just gave me the ball a lot, and I fell forward, dude. And we had a really good running back too, who ended up playing at Michigan. Really good player, and he was really shifty. So they would just give him the ball, let him bounce it outside, and then I kind of just went right up the middle. But yeah, it was an archaic offense. We ran a tight T. We just pounded the football and dominated the clock, and it was a good time, man. It was a good time. Good time in 2009.
A little thunder and lightning right there.
There it was. Yeah.
Roy, you toe to the rock too, right? Back in high school. What were your final stats senior year?
I cannot tell you. I don't remember. I had a good stat line though. I did a decent job running the old triple option / power I offense of Hilliard Davidson, Ohio. Very similar to Nico.
Very similar.
We weren't allowed to run out of bounds. The clock always had to be running. Your goal was to get 3 yards of play, and then we would go into a triple stack I formation to get the 4th and 1 wherever we were at on the field. It was some good times. Same here. Played with a lot of great guys, great coaches, but no state championships when I was there. We didn't get it done. We weren't like Nico status.
Yeah.
Well, you guys won it in 09, right?
We did. We won it in 06 and 09 when I was growing up. So got to witness some really good football as a kid in old Hilliard, Ohio.
They beat Glenville, right?
They beat Cardale Jones at Glenville.
Okay.
Wait.
Ted Ginn Sr.
06 they beat Menor. And then they beat in 09. Would that have been Cardale Jones in 09?
Probably.
I think it was. Yeah. But yeah, they were stacked. I mean, that was like the heyday of their like powerhouse run with like all those guys under Ted Ginn's father, senior. Yeah. So they're the boys came to play, and they didn't let any of those recruiting stars intimidate them, and they gave him Hilliard Davidson football. Got the dub.
Gotta love it. Yeah, I mean, I won state too. If we're all gonna just start throwing this stuff out, so yeah. 2006.
Let's just talk about high school football.
Cathedral Fighting Irish. Just a powerhouse.
Did you guys really win it?
Yeah, in 06. And then so Jack Doyle, do you know that name at all?
Yeah.
He's a buddy of mine, obviously played for the Colts for a while. We lost to Evansville Reitz semi-state my senior year, and it was like a heartbreaking, like type in later on YouTube, Cathedral versus Evansville Reitz final play. Jack Doyle, like it looks like he's catch the touchdown in real time. Ref called it out at the 1. Tears and fights. Oh, it was bad. But
did you want to pick up that name you dropped there?
Yeah, he's my good friend. I've got a couple other. Do I need to keep dropping names?
I can't wait to hear the complaints on social media that we talked for 15 minutes and didn't say anything.
Well, you know what? We're gonna say something right now.
I got something for you. Here's what I'll try to get for you, Brent. You ready?
Ready.
This is actually my favorite Cincy Light thing I've gotten.
Oh wow! That's pretty
Rocket
cool.
the raccoon from Guardians.
Oh yeah,
it's a Bearcat.
Oh,
in a leisure suit, drinking a Cincy Light.
Now I can see. Yes,
it does kind of look like Rocket. That's a great movie, by the way. Should we talk about greatest Marvel movies?
Yeah, just talk about favorite Marvel characters, and then compare them to your favorite high school football teammates. Snake drafts, superlatives. Hit it all.
Ted Karras was another one that I had back in high school, but we'll move on. We'll move on. Danco Transition Not to Care. If you want to talk more about, the glory days, head over to Danco Transition Not to Care. Danco Joe would want to hear about it. Get your car fixed up before you head all the way over to Lawrence, Kansas for the game this Saturday at 12 noon. And Danco Joe will hook you up. Nico, enough beating around the bush. How was bye week? Do you kind of take bye week as a personal, this is my time to kind of get rest, recoup, and get them trained and ready, or what all goes into a bye week for you guys?
Yeah, we're pretty systematic with it. And so how we look at it is we're trying to use that week to reset for the 6-week stretch that we're coming up to. And so what we do is we've been practicing pretty hard, really, really hard. And so we have taken our normal week, which we practice on Tuesday, Wednesday. We have like a walkthrough on Thursday, and then we practice again on Friday. So we take those templates, those Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday templates, and then we cut it by about 30%. And so what we try to do is we practiced last week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We kind of undulated the days that are the most intense. We wanted our Thursday to be the most intensive. And so we were very calculated with how long we practiced, how much our vets, our 1 and 2s got. We did a lot of young guy development. We kind of almost treated more like a developmental week than a bye week. And then we had Friday, Saturday off. Then we practiced again yesterday. And so it was a really, really beneficial week. And I think bye weeks are a test of maturity. It's a test of leadership. How engaged can you stay? How sharp can you be? And I was really, really impressed. Just a testament to our leadership. And so tomorrow we're back at it. Practice number 1 of Kansas week. Big game. Really, really excited about it. So I feel like we're in a really good place and just trending the right way, man.
So we've seen a guy like Dante get injured, and I'm not going to ask you about the gravity of the injury or anything like that, but now that you have the new facility in the IPF, what's it like going through some of those injuries now? How much time do you feel like you're shaving off of injury and recovery? Even guys that aren't mentioned on the injury report that go through like dings and dents and bruises and what have you. What's going through the process with the IPF that you weren't able to do before for some of these guys that are getting dinged up to just avoid ongoing injury through the season?
It's incredible. It's such a 9-day difference. The resources, right? So one is the technologies that we have. So the underwater treadmill, the amount of compacts, Normatex, game readies. Like we just have so many things, red light therapies. We just have so much technology now that we didn't have access to. We have so much more resources that we didn't have access to. And then also just the availability, right? Like I think because it is football exclusive, our guys get so much hands-on time. And so for a guy like Dante, his trajectory is as impressive as anyone I've ever seen in my career. His injury is not a light one, and he has just battled back, and he's in a really, really good position for this week, if not next week. And he's done an incredible job. So just really, really proud of Dante, proud of his maturity, and then just proud of his work ethic. I mean, he's been in at 6 a.m. and he leaves at freaking 6 to 7 p.m. every single day. He's been a mature leader. He's attacked his rehab and his treatment, and just a testament to our athletic training staff, which is second to none. I mean, they're incredible. Our sports science director, Jason Stone, we all work in alignment and unison, and just the ability to get Dante to where he is and the ability to get any other injuries that we've had nicked up in such a short amount of time is really impressive. I mean, there's guys that probably a year or 2 years ago, you don't have a chance, and we get them back in about 3 to 4 days, and they're ready to rock and roll for the next week. So it's a testament, man, to how aggressive and how comprehensive our athletic training staff is, literally the best in America, obviously, and then our alignment with the rest of the performance department and the trust we have with the football staff. So it's been really, really encouraging, because football is a physical sport, man. You guys know, and it's obviously a long season. So you're going to get nicked up. You're going to get guys that are going to miss a game, like 2 games, but the ability to get guys back without missing a whole chunk of time, it's a testament to our athletic training staff. So, and to the resources that now we have in our new facility. So really, really cool, really impressive.
Just a quick follow-up to that. Is there anything in the IPF that you're using more in some of this recovery and rehab process that you didn't expect to be using and you're really glad you have it now? Or anything stand out kind of like that?
Yeah, that's a great question too. Now, obviously, we knew that the underwater treadmill was going to be something that we could really utilize, and it's a great progression into running, into our boost, which is kind of like a, a weight reduced treadmill. So it's a great progression. You can get guys moving at a much faster rate. So we knew that was going to be huge. The thing that I think has been so beneficial for us is going to be our saunas and our cryo tanks and our red light therapy beds. So obviously, you have everything from a technology standpoint that is for treatment. So it's to help injured guys get back faster. But we also have all these sports science recovery modalities that we haven't had in the past. So you have a dry and wet sauna. You have a cryo therapy. You have a red light therapy bed. We're going to get 2 dry float tanks. We have a wet float tank. And then we're going to have an audio acoustic bed that just helps you kind of get in a parasympathetic state. So we have all these things. And obviously, technology is great. And if you have technology, you have an advantage over not having it. But the thing I think that we've done a really good job with is all summer long, as we moved in the new facility, we were just kind of anticipating getting our guys used to these different kind of recovery modalities. And so what we've been able to do is we create a personalized card, and it's our recovery routine card. And so each guy has their personalized routine from the AM to the midday / pre-practice to post-practice recovery. And then it's our job to hold them accountable to it. And then another thing that we've been doing, which I think has been awesome, is we have our guys do force plate testing. So they jump on a force plate twice a week. So they jump on it on the day they lift, which is Tuesday or Wednesday, and then they do it again on Friday. And this is a quick activation to see where they're at, A, how they've recovered from the game, and then B, how ready they are for the next game. And then we're able to modify our recovery based on those results. And it's been really, really impressive, man. And the guys have just bought in. And obviously, you have the technology, great, but our guys are utilizing those technologies. And it's been really impressive, man. Just the maturity of the guys and the buy-in from the guys. So really encouraging.
That's that's like night and day difference for like when I was at Cincinnati when we didn't have all those bells and whistles. Have you been able to pick up on like those benefits of having all that? And like that force plate thing is really, really interesting. I've never heard of something like that. Have you noticed it, benefiting like a lot yet? Or do you kind of see it being more of like an exponential type thing once you get to like week 8, 9, and 10? Are you really going to start like seeing the fruits of its labor and all this recovery? Because I know you only have so many guys banged up right now and it's early in the season, but have you been able to tap in and to kind of really feel that all the bells and whistles are helping you guys?
Yes, it has. And like for me, I think sports science is great, but sports science has to be supplementing what you already do. Like you can't change how you approach the way you practice, the way you train based on what sports science is telling you. This is my opinion. I think what you do is you recover more, don't do less, if that makes sense. And so for us, what we've been able to do is like the load's going to be the load, like the work's going to be the work. So we know like, okay, Tuesday's practice, it's going to be a 2.5-hour practice. Like get freaking ready. Now, if you come in on Tuesday in the morning and you lift and your force plate numbers aren't as high as they have been, okay, well, maybe you are still recovering from the prior game. But now we have a 4-hour time slot that we can get you extra recovery. And so what we do is that we have a really great communication format where our sports science director and Aaron will reach out to our players, and then they have them do an individualized kind of pre-practice routine. We take their body weight that much more serious. And then our liaisons who works with each position group, our strength coach liaisons, they'll make sure that post-practice and the Wednesday practice, they're doing extra things to get them ready throughout the week. So it's a constant tool that we've used as a way to minimize potential injury risk going into practices and then make sure that they're recovering to get them ready for game day. And so it's for us, it's okay, the work's going to be the work. how can we get our guys as ready as possible for that work? And then as a performance staff, how can we communicate to ensure that our guys are A, know what they have to do, B, held accountable to doing it, and then C, make sure they understand the results they've gotten because of it. And I think that transparency and that communication is what's led to the results we've had.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I mean, just hearing like all the there's one thing you guys have, all the nice stuff, like all the, it's arguably the best IPF in the country. But it's one thing to have it, but seeing how you guys are attacking it and finding how to like intertwine it immediately into your strength and recovery programs, it goes back on the same drum we've been beating with you in the off season of, being intentional on how we can make improvements to the whole program, every single angle, incorporating every phase of everything as one. So, that sounds really impressive. And I don't expect anything less from you, Nico, based on all the intentional like love and care that you've dove in with us here over the months, years now. But I guess one more for you, state of the program. So I remember when I was on that IPF tour, I was picking your brain kind of, about that Nebraska game and kind of how like much of a statement start to kind of like this year 3 where we felt things were different, but you're coming off of 3-9, 5-7. It's, there's nothing really has been put on the field that really makes you feel like, oh, this team's something special. But like when we talk to you, when we kind of were around the guys, we're around the new facility, you can just feel that little something in the air. Obviously, like things didn't go the way like we wanted it to go with like a win, but I've been going back and forth, the past couple of weeks and how the team felt different. Like you're in a place to win that game, and you felt like we belonged there, belonged in the win column. So how did you kind of digest that Nebraska game being like, it was like a pretty good litmus test on, where's this program at in year 3? And then you go into kind of 2, lesser opponents, but you guys take care of business. So like, how do you feel like things stacked up after Nebraska, and then, how they're evolving now leading into Kansas?
Great question. I'm not, and we're not into moral victories. And so a loss is a loss. As painful as it was and how close as we were to not losing, to winning that game, we had put ourselves in the position to win, and we didn't execute at the end. And unfortunately, we lost. I think what you have to do now is you have to reevaluate why you lost, and B, you have to build upon it. And I think our messaging has been really, really good with our team. Because yes, you lose that game, but the belief is that we could have and should have, in our opinion, won that game. And because we didn't, were we ready to win that game? And now we have to evaluate ourselves from a leadership all the way down to why didn't we win that game, and how can we avoid feeling that again? And so the whole challenge from a messaging standpoint is let's evaluate where we're at and then go 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time to improve. Because I think college football is in such a unique place where, like, when we played, a team was kind of fixed. Like, you knew how good you were going to be because you had all played together. You'd all been in the system for as long as you have. In today's day and age, it's a lot more fluid, and it's a lot more developmental. Like, where you are week 1 to where you are week 12 should be a very different team because of how many new players are working together, playing together, the timing on routes, the way the defense communicates. Like, you can drill all those things through spring and through camp, but really a lot of your players are showing up in May. So like the ability to improve throughout the year has been a huge messaging point. Like, okay, this is where we're at in Nebraska. This is why we lost this game. This is what we needed the last 2 weeks to be, and we accomplished those 2 things. We need to get better during the bye week. Now we're in Kansas. Now we're opening up our Big 12 play against a really good Kansas team and a really good Iowa State team. So we're aware of what's coming up. But the challenge to us is this is about us. This is about us. How good can we be each day? So we know exactly what our weekly goals are for each position group and our team. Can we each day focus on those goals, get feedback from those goals, and be maximized each and every day? Can we have the best Tuesday practice of the year? Can we have the best Wednesday practice of the year, the Thursday, the Friday? And can we trust If we do those things, we're going to put ourselves in position to have the best freaking Saturday game possible. And that's the word challenges. Our challenge is, one, can we be the best team possible each week? Can we continue to get better? And do we believe that our best is good enough? And we believe that it is. Because we're a talented team now, and we're really starting to fire on all cylinders. So there's a lot of trust. There's a lot of belief in how good we can be. The challenge to us is, can we go be focused each day? And it's so easy to look ahead. It's so easy to look to Saturday. So easy to look to getting in the conference and getting overwhelmed by it and getting excited. The challenge to us is being right where our feet are and getting better each day. And so it's a really exciting time, and it's a testament to our leadership, but I feel really positive. And yeah, I hate moral victories, but I do feel like if you can look back at Nebraska, it's just an opportunity to evaluate where you're at, why you fall short, how you need to keep improving each day.
Do you feel like what do you feel like is different about this year's team coming off a game like that versus Nebraska? We look like a better team than we looked like the previous 2 years. And you mentioned like finding ways to improve and evaluate like why we lost and how we're not going to let that happen again. What feels different about how this year's team is absorbing that and moving forward? And, next it's like, all right, yeah, you want to win every single game. All right, you lose the first game of the year, game you should have won. You move in next week, you win. How is this team, evolved in that category of absorbing and kind of coming closer together? I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but I think you know what I'm trying to ask.
Absolutely. Well, I think if you look at Nebraska, we're down 10 points 2 times in that game. And it was an unshakable belief. Like, there was no doubt that we were going to win. Literally, everyone thought we were going to win throughout the entire game, regardless of the circumstances of that game. From the sidelines to the way the guys were communicating, to the way the offense was picking up the defense, to the way Sorsby speaks at halftime, and he speaks after the game, and he kind of just rallies and fights his ass off, and the offense rallies behind the defense, played tough all night. So you see all those things, and you say, this is different than what we've had in the past. Not that what we had in the past wasn't great, but it wasn't to the point of a culture being strong enough to withstand the stresses of a game and then of a season. So then you lose that game, and there's really no stake of belief. It's just, we got to get better. We got to keep improving. And this team has the culture and it has the character to be really good because we really care and we have belief that we could be special. And I think that's the hardest thing that you always are trying to fight and keep. And that's a very intrinsic thing on this group because of how hard they've worked together. And, let's be honest now, once again, in the state of college football, like, how resilient are teams? I don't know how resilient teams are because the foundation isn't as deep as it's been in years past. Like, the lack of consistency in a roster creates a much more wobbly infrastructure. Like, if you lose a couple games, you'll see teams will just collapse. And you can use a perfect example of what Florida State happened. And, there's other teams out there that they lose a couple close games and the whole season just goes bye-bye. It just gets away from them because you're not rooted in a true belief and a true culture. And I think if there's anything that we've been drilling over and over and over again was to build that foundation, our team foundation, in rock. Not to steal a parable or anything, but like it's built on rock. So we know that we're strong enough and we have the leadership to withstand the inevitable adversities that you face in a season. And that's, I think, what you're trying to do. And, in years past, when we lost the game, I'm scratching my head going, I don't know what we're going to get in on Sunday. Like, you don't know how the players are going to be. You don't know how, the camaraderie or the connection or the belief is. With this team, I don't fear that because of how strong our leadership is. And I know that we can, withstand the adversity that you're going to face in the season, but also in a game, which, how in college football, the momentum flows so dramatically. And just to have guys that are leaders, that are vocal, that are consistent, that trust the program, that trust and care about each other, and they'll keep fighting regardless of the circumstance. I think that's a really impressive thing to have. And it's a rare thing to have in college football now.
I always remember when, after my first year at Cincinnati, it was like coming in the same boat, trying to build a culture up. But we were, like how you're mentioning before, we had the luxury of like knowing that, all right, this is like, we're going to have 5 years of like a consistent core of players that are that know how to absorb the culture and build off of it and bring others into it and consistently evolve it. But when we started out 4-8, like, we didn't know how to win. We didn't know what it took to win. And it was kind of like evolving from, all right, let's learn, like, first you have to learn how to believe that what you're doing is going to lead to wins. And then you start to see the fruits of your labor. And then it's learning how to win. And I feel like you guys are right on that inflection point. I can see, like, you guys have the culture, you have the pieces to win, and you believe, like, you know, the way you're going on and on about, like, this culture. And I truly believe, like, the praises you give it, and I've been around it and I can feel it. But like we all know, like, that doesn't win you football games. You have to learn how to win. And, like, even like last year, you guys were, like, right there, and there were games that, you know, just fell right through our fingertips. And you can and you feel like now this year, the belief is even better. And you're just right on that cusp of learning how to close out games, learning how to win. And then really you can just take that wind in the sail and just carry that through. But I really feel like you guys are knocking right on the door here. So you guys got a huge, huge opportunity this week. I'm sure you know that. You don't need to hear it from me. But I mean, I can, and it all just goes back and forth with, you know, just the consistency and the way you and the coaches have really intertwined all of your efforts into the product on the football field. So it sounds silly. It's like, man, like, we're doing all the right things. Why didn't we win that Nebraska game? And, like, it's like, oh, we have everything, like, set here right in front of us. The culture's there, the players there. Like, we should go out and beat Kansas. But that's what makes college football such a hard thing to coach, hard thing to be in. It's hard to win, but you guys have set the foundation of, you know, being prepared to win, being prepared to go through the battles. And it's time to go do it, man. So always singing your praises. So really excited for Saturday. It's another huge, huge opportunity for you guys.
I appreciate it. Thank you for all the compliments and the support and the perspective. And I appreciate you guys more than you know. And no, it's a big one. It was funny, like, like, the bye week is great. You know, it's enjoyable to be like a normal person. So Friday night and Saturday, you know, I gave myself I tried to give myself the be present. Don't worry about next week. It's coming. And then literally, like, on Saturday, I'm watching, like, the Michigan State USC game, and that game ends, and literally I'm like, it's go time, baby. Now my mind just, like, flips over. Now I'm thinking about Sunday's practice. I'm thinking about this. I think I sleep for 9 minutes. I'm like, bye week's officially over. So you're right. It is a huge opportunity. I'm really, really excited, and we're going to have a great week of practice. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put all pressure on myself and our leadership and our best players to have, like, let's treat Tuesday like game day. Let's treat Wednesday like game day. Let's treat Thursday and Friday. Let's be as prepared as possible. And then you let it freaking rip, man. And you let it go, and you trust your guys to make plays, and you have fun, and you kick ass, and I'm gonna start swearing and stuff, but you get after it, you know. So
let it out, baby.
I'm excited, man.
I'm
excited.
11 p.m. kickoff for that Michigan State USC game, man. You were fired up and ready.
I lied. I only made it to halftime, but you get the point. You get the point.
Yeah,
I was still riding up, dude.
Sure,
I still turned that TV off. I don't care. I'm focused on it's game week for me now, baby.
Let's go. One player that I want to just single out for a second, and I know you had a key piece in bringing him into Cincinnati as well, as a guy who's really kind of blowing up on the scene, started blowing up a little bit last year as Jake Golday. And I want you to kind of just get on your soapbox a little bit and talk about what makes him so special and why NFL teams are going to start to really, really take notice of what he's able to do.
Yeah. It's funny. Whenever I talk to the scouts, they ask, Golday's usually the first or 1 through 3 names asked about. And I say he is a golden retriever in a Rottweiler's body. And I say that because if you've ever been around Jake, he's like the nicest, most agreeable, good-natured, positive, optimistic. Like, he is a golden retriever by temperament. And then the minute there's anything related to anything competitive, the flip just switches, and he is an absolute animal. He's always the most coachable guy you ever work with, but the way he approaches the energy, the intensity, the motor, the willingness to compete, it's second to none, man. And he is really physically talented. And our coaching staff's done a great job. Coach Braswell and Coach Vite have done a great job of putting him in positions to have success. You see his motor; it's absolutely unrelenting. He's a dog, man, and he's a really special player. He'll give you everything he's got, and he's got a lot to give. So he's really talented, man.
When you get like a player like that kind of has the bit of like a basketball background, where it's, you know, the frame and then that side of athleticism as well, and then you have the ability to then put him in the weight room, is that something that is just like an additional luxury that then you can mold that into what you want to take him to the next level?
Yes, and it's been cool because, you know, freaking Jack Dingle and him have been just connected at the hip. And you have a guy like Dingle who is everything that's great about being a Bearcat, man. It's funny. I tell the scouts, he's your classic 1990s Mike linebacker. He's the guy you want to bring to the bar with you. He's the guy that'll ensure you get into a fight. He's an ass kicker. He's a badass. That dude is a bad ass who is tough as nails, but also really athletic, and has worked his butt off to really become more athletic, really improve his movement skills. He is our vocal leader. He's our edge on defense. And so I remember Jake comes in summer of 24, in May of 24, and you have Dingle that's like a Power Ranger. Like there's nothing Dingle can't do. And I'm just messing around. So I put them together. I'm like almost anticipating like just take them through it, show them how it's done, show them the standard, the rep integrity that we have. And like, you know, Dingle just running them through it, like just trying to bury this dude. And he buried him. And then by like the third day, you know, Goldie's starting to like give a little edge back. And by the end of the week, you know, Goldie's smiling and laughing. And then by the next week, I'm like, those two are going after it. And you can't hang with Dingle unless you're a genetic freak. And so I think literally by the end of the summer, Goldie had gained 8 pounds, ran 22.22 miles an hour, which is probably in the high 4.4s, 238 pounds, jumps 37.5-inch vertical. I mean, can change direction. He's freaky, man. He's just really freaky. And it's made Dingle that much more athletic. It's brought everybody up in that room. Jonathan Thompson has been working his butt off. So we've got a great linebacker group of all those young linebackers, and Simeon Coleman, Monte Whedon, Mook Sims, Sincere Lewis. You just got a great group of guys that everyone's been elevated, and they work at a rate that's, I mean, literally as impressive as I've been around.
So, man, it's really hard for me not to ask a follow-up on Sincere Lewis. So I'll leave that one for a little bit later. But the question I want to ask, Drew Logan, a kid that had worked his ass off over the course of this offseason, earns a scholarship, and then he goes down early on with an ACL, and he's done for the year. What's it like for you and your staff when a kid goes down like that for the season, knowing that it's not really an ACL? That's not really an injury that you can necessarily prevent with what it is that you do. So it's not one of those like deep tissue injuries or something of that nature. So what's the reaction like for you and your staff when you see something like that happen?
Heartbreak. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. You get emotional because you see the work put in. You see the work put in, and you just kind of know. I mean, he's engaged and he plants and he twists, and then done. He goes down, and you see just the way his knees buckled in. You've been around it enough where you just like you look at it and you go, "That's an ACL." You just know, and then they take him back and they evaluate and MRI him, and it's an ACL. And so you know in the pit of your stomach that, you know, he's done for the year. And so you kind of brace as a coach, what can you tell him? And at the end of the game, you go in the training room and you see him and his family, who are incredible people, and you just cry with them, man. You just sit there and you cry. You just cry because you know how much it means to him. You know how much he's poured into it. And, you know, when Sincere got both of his, there's nothing you can say or do. You literally just sit there and you listen and you mourn with them. You mourn with them and you just sit there, and nothing you can do. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you should try to say. They talk, you listen, you encourage them. And then 2 days later, you just get back and start kicking their ass all over again. Like it is what it is. Like, all right, Drew, slap them around. You have a makeup workout. I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to do that. I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to be, like it's, you have a role. You got to do your role. Like, so I think when those injuries happen and they're so cruel and it literally breaks your heart because you, as a strength coach, you see years. I've seen 3 years of work that Drew Logan's put in. He's put himself in a position to have success, and he tears his ACL. But I've seen guys that have torn their ACL and have come back better than ever. And I've seen guys that have had great careers, but also better people because of their injury. And you learn more about yourself than you do. I've had long-term injuries, and you learn more about yourself. And you learn who you are in those dark times and watching yourself battle back. And then as a strength coach, you just are there to support them and challenge them and listen to them. And that's, as terrible as it is, those are the relationships that you form that are the most deep. And so there's nothing you can say or do. There's no perspective that you can have. Football is brutal, man. You got guys falling on top of each other. You got guys engaged that are getting twisted and pulled and rolled up on. And those are unfortunate things you can't do. And as a strength coach, you lose sleep. You literally lose sleep thinking, how could I have prevented this? Or how could I have done better? Or what could we have done? What did we miss? You just do all those things and you love them up in the process and you just keep battling back. But that's the thing you hate about the job, man. Like that's literally the thing you hate about the job. Like those are the things you lose sleep over. And so that's why you keep working and trying to get better and support guys. But yeah, that's unfortunately the cruel game of football.
On the flip side of that coin, speaking of a guy like Sincere Lewis, he's on the field this year, and that's the first time in 3 years now that he's had just gruesome injury after gruesome injury, and now he could have given up several different times here, and here he is, still a Bearcat, and he's been out on the field and getting some playing time now, and it's kind of the redemption story on the other side of the coin.
Correct. Yeah. Now I'm being all somber. You're right. Thank you for your perspective, Aaron. You're absolutely right. And it's the cool thing about that is I had a great conversation with Sincere at lunch, and it's funny because I go, how are you doing? Literally, how are you doing? And he goes, I'm good. And for weeks I've been frustrated with myself because I feel like I could be playing better. I feel like I could be doing more. I feel like this. And then he goes, the cool thing was I take a step back and I look back where I was a year ago, and I just have this perspective, and it's so cool, like how. Like you want to talk about building a foundation on rock. That dude, whatever he does is going to be such a success in life because of the adversity that guy's overcome and who he is as a man. And, I'm so proud of him. I wish him absolutely the best, but to see him having success and then see him, playing really well, despite what his setbacks were, just a testament to his work ethic and his trust and our athletic training staff. But it's really cool to see, man. It's really cool to see.
Good. Just real quick, two things. First off, let's keep on the high note. Success. Offensive line. They right now currently are the only team in college football that is not allowed a sack through 3 games, and obviously a lot of teams have played 4 as well. But kind of what you've seen out of that group and how you were able to see how they were going to be special. And then one play also in particular, did you kind of feel like a little extra hype when Jeff Caldwell was able to kind of shimmy his way through like 6 defenders and then reach for the goal line, and it seemed like a lot of strength and conditioning went into that single touchdown play. So just two different things there.
One, the O-line you knew was going to be special, and you knew they were going to be special by the attitude that they had. And we've talked about it, but a lot of our summer theme was position identity, like who is each position group, and that the challenge to the leaders of each position group was, and the coaches, to be fair, was the group embodies what they're around. So if I'm a leader in the O-line group, both from Coach Cardwell and from Gavin, understand if you want to know who you are as a player, look at your position group, because they're going to embody what they see. They're going to embody the demands that are put on them by leadership. And so the challenge of the leaders was, if you want to demand a high standard, you have to possess it. And so the challenge all year is all summer, really all from January all the way through August was me just yelling at the leaders all the time. And anytime there was a mistake, it was always the leader's fault. So I'm just in the leader's face constantly. And doing that over and over again, you start to see the identity of position groups starting to emerge. Really in May after spring ball all the way through the summer. And then you get in camp and you see it really kind of embodied. The cool thing was O-line was the one that you saw like immediately. And a lot of it was obviously Gavin Gearhart is a three-time captain and the absolute pinnacle and literally the apex of our team. You have that, but then you also have great leadership in Tarantayo and Evan Tangsadal that are just kind of giant dickheads, like just giant pricks. And they're kind of his like lieutenants, and they are the muscle, and they come around with an attitude and an edge. You have Deion Buford, you have Ethan Green, and then you get Joe Kahn coming in. You have Nolan Lupe come in. Like you have guys that come in and just automatically are sucked into the culture and just freaking all push each other and are vocal and have that edge and have that chip. And you put that all together, man. And it's a violent, tough, physical, high energy group, man. And they're badasses. They are badasses. So I'm not surprised one bit that they're having the success that they have. And they got a big test this week. And I'm going to remind them every minute of every day to get their effing minds right. So that's one. And then Jeff Caldwell is another guy that's incredible because, and I'm going to say this out loud and put this in the universe, because I've been saying it to anyone that's listened, is that Jeff Caldwell is as talented physically as any wideout I've worked with in my entire career. Mind you, I've worked with about 10 first-round wideouts. I don't know if that's a true number. Don't test me on that. But let's just say I've worked with a lot of first-round wideouts. And from an objective number-wise, from the way he moves, the way he jumps, the way he lifts, the power he creates, Jeff Caldwell is at the top of all those wideouts. He will, when he goes to the combine, will test better than anybody else. He's incredible. He's as physically gifted as anyone I've ever been around. Now, skill set wise, because of his experience and the limited, resources that he's had in the past, just kind of didn't push him as much as he could have been pushed. The cool thing I love about Jeff is that Jeff is incredibly coachable, incredibly fun, incredibly engaging, and buys in. And so to watch Jeff's growth from being super talented by itself to then learning how to have a great training performance routine, a great recovery routine, learning how to have great practice habits, learning how to present himself with a demeanor and an edge and an attitude. I've been in his ear more than anyone I've coached in just regards. I tell him every single day, you're a freak, you're a monster, you cannot be stopped. And I punch him in the chest every time I say it to him. And it's kind of our mantra. Like, it doesn't matter if you haven't had a catch, you're going to have the catch. It doesn't matter if you drop the ball, you're going to make the catch. You can't be stopped. You literally can't be stopped. And he's kind of started to embody that. He's gotten a swag and he's starting to believe that he is as good as his potential is. And to watch that happen, like literally like that, it's a testament to his willingness to be coached, man. And I just think Jeff has such an upside, and I believe in him, and he believes in himself, and we believe in him, and we need him to keep growing, man, because he has nothing but upside.
So, Nico, I guess you could say you kind of turn the keys over to like the coaches when the season starts. Like your whole program is, how do I get these guys to be the best football player that they can be, so that when the ball gets kicked off week one, like this team's in its best spot, be able to put their best foot forward. How have you evolved as, a head strength coach going into your third year here with in-season strength and conditioning? Like how, in terms of like knowing your role and like how you've been able to like improve your role when you're kind of like, you're not like taking a back seat, but like you go from like the whole off season where it's like you're hands on, like everything's like you're in total control of like getting this team ready to go. And then it kind of just turns into like X's and O's and winning football games. How have you evolved kind of in the in-season form going into your third season here?
That's a fantastic question. That's multifaceted. Number one is I've learned that no matter how good, it's all relative, but how good your summer and your off-season program is, not having alignment from a coaching like plan as far as when you transition into fall camp, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. And I credit Coach Sat and I credit our football staff, the humility that they've shown and the willingness to adapt our fall camp schedule was one of the more impressive things I've ever been a part of in my career. So we had multiple workshops all throughout the spring and summer. And then we planned out the fall camp to put our guys in to have success. And if you ask Aaron Himmler, and knock on wood, because we're still in the season and stuff, but fall camp's over. This was the first fall camp that we started camp with less players than we ended camp. So literally we got healthier throughout camp. And that's a testament to the willingness for coach to be incredibly humble and learn and be inclusive and us to all work together. Credit to Jason Stone and how good of a job he's done. And we practiced hard. We just practiced smarter. We were really calculated with when you need to practice hard, what that should look like, when you need to pull back, how you kind of undulate it. And we are in a really good place as far as health of our team. So that was one thing that I've had to learn. I've had to learn how to communicate that, how to teach that, how to verbalize that, how to kind of lay it out. And that's just that's taken me time to be able to kind of verbalize and to gain the trust to be able to kind of work together. That's also a testament to Coach Satt and the football staff. Incredible job that most staffs are too prideful or too stubborn to willingness to adapt. And that's just not our program. So incredible job on that end. And then the second thing is just going to be leadership, culture. And for us, I think we've done a really good job of maintaining our culture. And, football is the priority, but our culture still has the juice in it to maintain the alignment that we've focused on all year. And that makes you feel really, really proud. And then also we do multiple other things. So we have a group called the Bearcat Council that meets once a week, like they did all the way through the summer with our sports psychologist, Lanisha Nickel, and she does an incredible job. So it's me, it's Lanisha, it's our chief of staff, it's AJ Wessel, who's in operations, it's Coach Robert Williams, another strength coach. We gather notes, we send to the whole staff. So we're constantly talking dialogue, addressing the needs of the team. And then because I'm loud and obnoxious, can drive that messaging constantly to the entire team. I know the head coach's messaging, and we can just make sure that we're all on the same page. We're all believing, we're all speaking the same thing. And that kind of alignment from a practice physiological standpoint, and then also a cultural goal-oriented alignment, I think has been something I've had to learn. And I think I'm doing a better job than I've done in the past. I hope I am. But definitely the willingness to learn and grow and then get more people in and learn from them. It's been a great, I've learned a lot in my time here. And I'm very, very grateful that I've been able to do so and that our staff's been supporting it and that we've had alignment through the whole process.
That's awesome. The kick time has been revealed for next week's game as well against Iowa State. And obviously this upcoming Saturday is 12 noon. 12 noon kickoffs. Your thoughts on those?
I know this is going to be a hot take or a dislike take, but from a strength coach and maybe not football player standpoint, because there's pros and cons for everything, I get so damn antsy at an 8 o'clock kickoff time. If it could be at 7 a.m., I'd say, hell yeah, let's roll, man.
It's a universal strength coach standard.
Let's fuel up and let's go swing as hard as we can, man, for freaking 3.5 hours. So for me, it could be in a parking lot. I don't care. I understand why the fans would want noon, or excuse me, a night game, a freaking nip on night. I understand the magic of that. I was hoping that for Iowa State, but the meathead in me, I don't care. Wherever it is, put the ball down. Let's freaking swing.
Every single strength coach, I knew he was gonna. They love the noon games, man. It's because you're up closer to when they get up normally. So like, yeah, get your energy shot. We're playing football. We don't have to wait around. It's literally, I'm like,
yeah, it's all gas all day. You don't have to wait, man. You don't have to wait.
We get to go. I don't even know how you handle those like 3-hour like nap down times for those 7:30 kicks, man.
I sit in my room and I stare at the ceiling, dude. I get so worked up, bro. I get so worked up.
The night games, they have that extra juice.
It doesn't work.
It always feels like a little bit more juice in the air for those 7:30 kicks because you got the fans. They're waiting all day. They're out tailgating, just it's like the opposite of kind of like us. It's like we want to go play and we want to get out there as early as possible to go play, but the fans are kind of like, well, we want to like be able to tailgate and like get hyped up, have that build up kind of favor our drunken tailgatiness so we can go scream our heads off for at 7:30 at night. But it's no, I know what you mean though. Getting out there at noon and just getting on the field, ready to go. I think there is something to be said about teams that are ready to go kickoff at noon, because fans don't probably really know. You get up at you get up at 6 a.m. and it is literally, you're not really chilling at all until you're like in the locker room, like stretching and doing all that stuff. It's like you wake up at 6, you're going, and kickoff's there before you know it. And a lot of times teams that are, on the little bit, they might be a little bit softer on side of things, don't have good culture, the way like Nico was saying, you can kind of sense it in the air after that opening kickoff, who's ready to go and who's not. So I like the Bearcats noon kickoffs with a guy like Nico at the helm. Let's get it going in Lawrence at noon. Come on.
Let's go, dude. Let's go. I'm fired up, man.
As you should be. One quick thing. I know when you first came in, you were able to see Trey Tucker in person and just the absolute rock that man is. He went off on Sunday. 8 catches, 145 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, it's just cool to see Bearcats in the NFL. But God, give some flowers to Trey Tucker. The little bit you were able to work him out and as he prepped for the NFL draft.
Yeah, man, him and Tyler Scott would come in and just, that's the thing, like, you get when you deal with the alumni from UC. Like, I mean, talking to a guy like Royer or just any of the alumni that I've been fortunate enough to meet, it's the same exact human being.
You can't keep me in the same sentence as Trey Tucker.
Maybe not from a production standpoint. I'm talking about the character. The character.
Yeah.
As impressive of an alumni group as anyone I've been around in every place I've been in regards to a love of the Bearcats, love of UC, pride, but even more so like just the willingness to form relationships. You just see who they are, man. Like everyone I've talked to is just a dude's dude, just a dude's dude. And Trey was one of the guys that, I didn't know Trey, and I love when alumni come back, man. I want you to train with us. I want our players to be around elite NFL guys. I want our players to be around elite Bearcats and guys that have bled it and have had incredible success here. I think that's awesome. I loved it as a player. I want that environment. And so he was gracious enough to be around while he was kind of preparing in between pro day and the draft. And he asked if he could train. I said, hell yeah. So just seeing him, seeing the professionalism that he had, the character that he had, I remember watching him play on TV going, that dude can float, man. That guy can freaking scoot. And he's, so competitive. So seeing his production, not surprising. Really impressive guy, man. But I mean, every single alumni that I've talked to, I couldn't be more impressed with. That's a testament. It's no surprise, the 20 and 21 teams had the success that they had because the leadership and the character was so high on those guys, man. So I'm glad I've got to know a lot of those guys and formulate relationships. And yeah, I just appreciate that he allowed me to spot him.
He's a tank for a little guy.
He is, dude. Yeah, he's a powerful
hamster.
Yeah, he's all twitched up, man.
I mean, people see those little guys, they think, he's not that strong.
No,
Trey
I
was
saw
an
the
exception.
first time he walked in there, he almost hit his head on the ceiling, just walking in with that bounce, man. Like you can tell he's twitching now. You can tell he's a twitched up dude.
Yeah, what Geno Smith says he's Santana Moss, and if that's the case, he's going to keep on throwing it to him. So let's go. Bearcat
Good comparison.
Let's go. Anything else for Nico, Chad, Ryan, Aaron?
We've gotten all we've maxed him out.
We've got a big game Saturday, baby. I mean, just one last time. For those of you who haven't been really keeping track at home, 1,279 yards, 24 touchdowns, 14-0 record, state champion, first team All-State. I think you were what? Area player of the year. You know what? You got all those accolades and pretty damn good strength and conditioning coach on top of it. And the GOAT representative coming on the BBP with us. It's always an absolute thrill, man.
I love you guys, man. Thanks again, man. You guys are the best. Incredible questions. Fired up, man. Thank you for having me on. Thank you very much.
We'll see you by week number 2.
Baby.
Can't wait, guys.
Kansas.
Appreciate you.
Love you guys. I'll talk to you. Go Bearcats, baby.
Yep.
Appreciate you, brother.
The man.
He's done it again.
Golly, he's done it again. Jared McCarty, you are so true. But it's a man crush, not boy. But, either way. Let's go ahead and timestamp
Thanks
this.
for clarifying that.
Timestamp this, and we'll be ready to rock and roll.
That timestamp brought to you by our good friends at Quick Paper Supply, your local and family-owned restaurant supply company. For all your non-food products, Quick Paper services over 150 restaurants with weekly low minimum next day deliveries. They provide a wide range of food service products from to-go containers, cups, custom printed products, eco-friendly, and much more. They also have cleaning and restroom supplies for all your janitorial needs. Call Nick, 513-470-2029, and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases.
Boom, baby. Chad, I'm sure you and Dave will have more of a Kansas, look at the Jayhawks and whatnot. Obviously, it's a huge game. Kansas just blew the doors off West Virginia this past weekend. Some interesting things come from Coach Leipold's little press conference today.
He's taking shots at Mizzou.
Right, yeah. But he did say Cincinnati will be the toughest team we've faced all year. So
yeah, he's taking shots at Mizzou, who it's weird to take shots at they beat you. They won.
Yeah. Right. Well, but I mean,
relax, Junior.
But you also don't want Wes Miller to say that team in Norwood is, the best team he's faced all year type thing.
Right.
So don't want any of that. It's going to be a good game. Boy, oh boy, that's an offense that can click when they are moving and grooving. And then basketball, I was hoping they were going to drop the men's schedule today, but it looks like that'll be tomorrow. So I'm sure you and Aaron will have something on the nightcap and
opening up with Houston.
Yeah, how about that?
Fifth Third Arena,
January 3rd. Yep.
Houston. I mean, rip the Band-Aid off. Just get that bad boy. Let's go. Maybe you see some weird stuff happen on opening night around conferences.
Yep.
Maybe you sneak up on them on night one.
Yeah,
I'd much rather have that than when they're on like an 11-game winning streak in February.
Yes, give me that time as well, and don't give me like a road game at Kansas State for the opening Big 12.
Right.
Something like that where you can there's truly no upside in that road game at Kansas State after a non-con schedule. Let's go. Take it to the chin and let's rock and roll, man. That's be a good little squad when that happens. But what the Arkansas exhibition news is official. Or at least Arkansas released it. So what is that, October 24th or
24th?
Yeah, 24th.
The night before. I'll ask you guys. What do you guys think? Should I send Keegan to Arkansas for that game? Because it's probably not going to be on TV. But then we won't have him for homecoming against Baylor.
Can he sit there and like live stream the game on his phone?
Probably not, but he would be able to be there to live tweet, to get post-game coverage.
You know what? I think that's a you question to answer. Clearly, I hope they do some sort of stream. Golly, I need something. I don't know.
Coaches don't want those exhibition games out there if they don't have to be.
Absolutely not. But it's funny. Okay, make it a charity exhibition. I'm willing to spend stupid money just to see a little exhibition game. I'm down. I am down.
Maybe Keegan will just pick you up on the way to Arkansas, and you can go with him. We'll get double coverage.
Okay. You know what? I don't think it's. I had a lot of fun last time we were in Fayetteville, didn't we, Aaron?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Aaron doesn't seem as hyped about it as you.
It was fun. I mean, we had a good time.
I had a damn good time. I'll just put it at that.
We had a good time.
But yeah, I'm sure we'll have more combos about the basketball team as well. Obviously the cool press conference last week, kind of getting to peel back the curtain a little bit more with Corey Evans and obviously Mustafa Cham. Everyone's loving that added 20-25 pounds. I mean, that's just the monster factory. Just let it do its work. But yeah, a lot of excitement around basketball, but more will come when the dates are released tomorrow for that Big 12 schedule. But it's time to riff. Pretty light mailbag, so we will we'll riff it up with Ryan. I mean, he already dominated the Nico interview just like he always does, but you know what? I'm excited for this part as well.
Ryan,
going right now?
Yep.
I didn't know if we were gonna have an in. All right. First question. Nico was talking about the O-line and the no sacks been giving up. I kind of think Kansas is going to take that and try to squash it. Do you guys think that the O-line carries on the streak of no sacks allowed following this Kansas game?
Probably. I mean, I don't think they're going to get a bunch, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was one that snuck in there at some point in time. But those guys have done a great job pass protecting. Kansas also has not given up a sack so far this season. So 2 offensive lines with a perfect streak coming into the start of conference play.
I don't know, Chad. I think Kansas has given up a sack.
But I read today they hadn't given up a sack this year.
No, they've given up 3.
Oh.
Okay. Because the only reason I say that is because Cincinnati is the only team in college football that has given up 0 sacks. Virginia, Army, Boise State.
I saw that somewhere earlier today, and it was fake news.
Yeah, it was. It's probably just the same fake news that Lance Leipold's trying to put out there. But either way, so Kansas has 12 sacks on the year in 4 games. One of the higher Big 12 marks and so far this year. How many did they have against Mizzou, Aaron? Do you have that on hand?
I do. They had 4, I believe. I'll double check.
They do have a former Hilliard-Davidson player on their D line.
Okay.
So
continue.
Look out for Gage Keys. Do not O-line boys. Do not let him get anywhere near our boy Sorsby. Can't be. Even though he's a former teammate of mine, he's a good kid. Don't want to see him have any success this Saturday.
That was a former Bearcat target, wasn't it, Chad?
I have no idea.
Keys.
There was Josiah Aziram who played at EKU, who's now on the Saints. He was also a Davidson product.
Yeah, because Gage committed to Minnesota. He visited Cincinnati on June 8th of 2020.
Yes.
So
Brent, I can barely remember tomorrow. You want me to remember who visited in June of 2020?
I blew Dave's mind when I told him Dante Moore visited here, and Dave could not believe that he was ever a UC target.
Yeah, that was the whole Sauce Gardner. Yeah,
getting them into Detroit. Everybody was listening to Cincinnati from Detroit at that point.
Regardless, it was really funny to watch Dave's head explode.
Boy, I tell you what, if they can hold Kansas to 0 sacks on the road. And Kansas is going to be like that place is going to be pretty bonkers. Because I mean they're a good team. Obviously, if it was like a afternoon game or a night game, it'd be even crazier. But still, it's 11 o'clock local time. That's one of those tailgates where you just don't go to bed the night before and just roll right into the game. And so it's going to be a tough environment. But if we somehow hold them to 0 sacks, I think that could be a big reason why you win a football game. I just think it'd be tough to do in this scenario. But I not only has Cincinnati not let up a sack, it seems like Sorsby really has not even been pressured at all.
I mean, he's escaped a little bit and got out, but
yeah, right.
I mean, he's gotten out pretty easily, I guess is the right way to put it. Like, it hasn't been like guys diving at his feet,
right?
And he's had to, like, pull a Houdini act to get out of the pocket. It's been more, he's seen the edge rushers take a bad angle or whatever and escape the pocket and gotten yards. But yeah, I mean, they've done so far, they've done a really good job in pass pro for this unit. And look, that was a loud environment in Arrowhead Stadium, and they didn't let Nebraska get home. So Nebraska's D-line is not very good, but
Nebraska's had 6 sacks on the year in 4 games, so not quite putting up the Kansas numbers, but
they've had 6 sacks on the year in 3 games. Because 1 game they got 0.
Oh, I see what you did there. That's nice.
See what I did there?
That's pretty damn good. I like it. Because they had 0 against the Bearcats in Arrowhead Stadium. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's Thanks. Thanks for mansplaining that.
You are a smart man over there.
All right. So going up against the dynamic quarterback, high-powered offense, we've been hearing all year, bend, don't break. This is one of those games where, they have the ability to go up and down the field and a quarterback that can move around in the pocket and make plays. Do you think that the recipe for success on defense is, hey, make the team that has a really good offense, really good quarterback beat us? Or do you think we should look into, dialing up the pressure a little bit more on Jalen Daniels? Or do you think that might, play into his ability to kind of move around in the pocket, scramble around and make plays? So what do you think? More cushion or less cushion this week?
Gus?
I feel like you have to respect his ability to move outside the pocket. And if you're going to do that, I think you have to I don't think you can tighten the cushion all that much. If you're going to also respect the fact that he can go east and west as opposed to just throwing the ball. He makes a living throwing the ball, these little short passes in the short and intermediate game. So I don't know that he's going to blow the top off you necessarily. So I'd be just a little nervous about just pretty much anything happening within 3 to 5 yards, including him running with the ball.
So do you think we'd benefit from doing more of like a 4-man or 5-man front, have a guy pop out and just spy? Or do you think, hey, let's send 5 or 6 and just kind of keep the pocket, contained on the outside in? What would you rather have?
I think I'd almost rather have the spy.
Definitely can't let him be comfortable. I mean, you saw Drew Pine was like terrible against Louisville, and he was able to just like slowly and methodically dink and dunk his way to, decent success. Can't let Daniels do that. So I don't know if that means, bringing more pressure, like kind of the looks that you talked about last week, Ryan, utilizing more people every single passing down. I don't know, but you also don't want to overcommit, and then before you know it, he's got open running lanes. But it's a little different because we're playing zone in the back, so maybe it's a little bit more coherent to knowing that he can tuck and run. But I don't know. I want to bring pressure, kind of don't let him get comfortable type thing.
I'm
doing math here real quick.
Oh gosh, this will take a while.
He's doing that. I would be very, very comfortable with us doing Golde, Dingle, Dante, and whatever D lineman is to the field 4-on-3 at a high clip, regular pace, mix it around with stunts or pick games with those 4. I think that I'd gamble those guys in the pressure against Jalen Daniels and letting our guys cover out back for X amount of seconds and roll the dice if I was the D coordinator. But I'm not. I'm a podcast guy with you guys.
In his two Power 4 games, he's thrown for 223 yards against Missouri, only 138 yards against West Virginia. Remember that we were kind of in awe of him that opening week, 18 of 20 for 176 and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
His completion percentage has dropped in every game since. 72% against Wagner, 60% against Missouri, 50%, 12 of 24 against West Virginia. Kansas can really, really run the ball. And I'm almost willing to just make Jalen Daniels beat you than I am, letting their running game really get going. They can run it. They can really, and they've got an interesting offensive scheme that is hard to defend. I mean, they're at 839 yards rushing this year. 891 passing. So they're at like a 50-50 split. I think you need to do whatever you can to stop their run game. And he's not a huge threat to beat you with his legs. He'll have a game here and there. And that's usually like, West Virginia. I think he had 60 yards rushing. He had 28 on one play where he breaks contain and has a big gain. But he's not a guy he's not a guy they want to run. Like they are not calling a bunch of stuff for Jayden Daniels to run the football. I think you got to tighten up on the run. You got to make sure you're setting the edge because they will try to get outside on you with misdirection. But let's be honest, guys. A lot of this just comes down to Dante Corleone.
Yeah.
Like what they can do and what they can't do is going to depend greatly on the availability of Dante, which we probably won't know much on that until tomorrow. And Big 12 games, the injury report comes out Wednesday night. So there's going to be an injury report. We're going to get answers on Dante either tomorrow or we'll have a better feel on Wednesday. So what they do, Ryan, is largely dependent on the availability of Dante Corleone.
I agree. We've kind of seen the fall off on the run defense this year against all types of opponents, whether he's in, out, or injured.
Yeah.
I mean, in or injured. So that would not be a good combination. Their rushing offense against a Dante-less defense. But yeah, I brought up Jalen Daniels, like just his dynamic ability. He's athletic, and I think,
but they don't run him a lot.
Yeah. I just think this game is going to come down to being able to pressure him on third down or on second and long situations where our defense, we've been kind of like sitting back and letting teams kind of, bend, don't break, don't make mistakes, make them beat us. I think Kansas's offense is too good to kind of rely on that full 100% philosophy that we've kind of been seeing on bend, don't break. And I think we're going to need to shift the tide with pressure on a guy who has a lot of snaps now. He can make plays. He can move the pocket. So I agree, Chad.
And they're their offense is pretty like creative too, like not like super gadgety plays, but like plays that like are big hitters.
Your discipline, your eye
Yeah,
discipline has to be
right.
excellent against this
Yeah,
team.
so
Because
the bend but don't break thing will be put to test. Where like, I mean, they could surprise you with some sort of a weird play action fake and wheel route to the running back for 60 yards with no one there defensively if you don't pay attention to what's in front of you. So, and what can disrupt that is some good pressure. So I'm all in with you there, Ryan.
All right, last question. Hypothetically, 60 plays on offense for the Bearcats. What do you want the rush to pass split to be? What do you think will be the recipe for success?
Right.
Let's see here. So I just keep on looking at this Missouri
their
game.
run defense is not great. I mean, they gave up almost 200 yards to West Virginia on the ground without their leading back.
Yeah, they gave
up.
I
think you want to run this as much as possible, especially early, to kind of set a physical tone to this game. Missouri eventually got their passing game going in that game. It took a while. But after Kansas got off to a hot start, then Missouri got their passing game clicking. But I think you've got to run this ball at Kansas and make them stop your running game. We have not seen this running game really get on track. The game that it potentially could have gotten on track, they didn't run it enough. They did not get the run going against Bowling Green. Who cares against the Bengals or Northwestern State? So yeah, I think Kansas is susceptible to the run. Missouri ran on them really well. West Virginia ran on them really well. Make them show that their run defense can stop you and then open up the passing game off of that. And it keeps Kansas's offense off the field and, limits some of the ability for those guys to make big plays.
I would think if you're running, say 40 of those 60 plays are running plays versus 20 pass plays, that means your run game's working. It means it's probably working well, and you're probably playing with the lead. So I would feel great if we're running the ball 40 times.
I don't think they're going to run it 40 times, but
I mean, these are some crazy snap numbers that, I mean, Missouri threw 39 passes, but also had 47 rushing attempts. Like,
yeah, a lot of plays.
That's a
lot of plays.
I mean, West Virginia got smoked in that game, and they still threw 31 passes and had 41 rush attempts. So it's like, the ability is there to kind of get it going. But yeah, I agree with Ryan. I mean, with Aaron, if the rushing numbers are high, then that means, we aren't having to play catch up or, not having to completely shy away from the run as well. So closer to a 50-50 split for me, though, because I just think, I don't know, you need it kind of all things to be clicking in this one, not more so one than the other. What about you, Royer? What you picking?
32-28 rush to pass.
Yeah. 32-28 rush to pass. I like it.
Right about there at that 50-50 mark.
Yep.
The Scott Satterfield sweet spot, 50-50.
Oh, wow. Yeah. More ways than one.
It's a layered joke for you kids.
You got that one final question, Ryan. Yeah.
Take it away, Brent, like you always do.
So, sadly, I can't go with you this weekend. You're wanting to go to the Ryder Cup. You said you had the PJ lined up, had the tickets. Are you still going? Is that still on your docket?
We're working through some of the details right now, but it's looking pretty promising.
Okay, PJ fired in.
Alex getting the PJ.
Backstage passes. dinner with Scotty Scheffler. Like I'm excited for you. And then we kind of started to go back and forth and say, okay, take out the big four in sports. We might have had a similar question to this before in the past, but it's just too juicy of a thing not to dive into it. Take out the big four: football, baseball, basketball, hockey. What is a sporting event that you would like to attend? Was it Wimbledon? Is it the Masters? Is it the Ryder Cup? I heard the Ryder Cup is just damn fun to be at. Is it the Waste Management on the 17th hole? What is the one thing? Is it the World Cup? Is it an F1 race? Let's ask it on the BVP. You said. I said, all right. Tell me about the PJ. We'll go from there. Ryan, what is it?
I'm torn between like a Champions League soccer game and a UFC fight with like a John Jones or a McGregor main card championship bout.
And you're right on the ring, fired up next to the
sit next to Theo Vaughn and all the guys, you know.
Yeah.
Aaron?
I don't know. The Indy 500 with my boy Brent would be pretty fun. I've never
Bring
been.
it on, baby. I will happily host anyone who wants to go. Well, not host, but you can ride on the party bus with us, and oh boy, it is a whale of a time.
That might be fun. That crazy race in Vegas where they drive through the city,
and the whole city's closed down, and you can't actually do anything or move or go anywhere. Yeah, that sounds awesome. That sounded like an abject disaster from people that went in Vegas. Like, we're stuck. We're just stuck. Can't go in. The roads are all closed. Can't go anywhere.
Can't lose money if you can't go anywhere.
Yeah. Fair. Well, you're probably at the hotel. Will have wherever you're at. Will have a casino. You can guarantee that. Wherever you're at, you can't go anywhere.
They set them up on
the casino in your hotel.
They set them up on the sidewalks where you're watching.
Yeah.
There's just instead of an ATM, it's just a machine ready to eat your money. Bristol would probably be fun. I've not ever been to a race outside of going to the Derby, and that's a very different kind of race. Although I'd love to go back to the Kentucky Derby. But
I would say the Derby, as a young guy, the infield at the Derby.
Yeah.
But I'm old now, and I don't want to put up with that. So like one of the, get a invite to a suite at the Derby. Yeah. Have a little elbow room where you're not super crowded and dealing with the masses.
Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, like Jason hooked up. Yeah. And a little mint julep action, or maybe some straight bourbon.
Oh,
I miss bourbon. I haven't had bourbon in like 8 months.
Mint julep it's fantastic, especially.
A mint julep's good.
That'd be a hell of a tease if you were going to say you miss bourbon. Now bringing back.
New rip left, and I quit bourbon.
Wow.
Fair. I got too old for it.
Fair.
Didn't recover the next day. Yeah. Like you used to be able to. I finally reached that point. Like I had great recovery for a long time.
Yeah. And
then the recovery started waning, so the drinking started drastically being reduced.
Yeah. Bottomless mimosas yesterday morning, all the way in through NFL Sunday. It's no joke out here. But yeah, I agree. I think I'm going to go Masters still, because obviously it's a very tough ticket to get, and then on top of it, would be awesome to just kind of be in that environment. And
that's such a weird place to drive by.
Yeah,
because it's all behind like blacked out fences. Like you can't see anything. Yep. You have no indication that on the other side of that fence is the Masters when you're driving through Augusta, Georgia.
Yeah.
And I've been there 20 times for Peach Jam. Like I've been there a ton. And I've driven past it, and then finally somebody I was with was like, that's Augusta. Like
Yep.
behind that fence, there's no signs, there's no fanfare, there's no nothing. It's just a black fence, and behind it is golf heaven.
The place, heaven. This is the Masters.
Kentucky Derby, though, would getting to like live the good life at the Derby, one of the VIP deals. I think that would be pretty damn sweet.
So weird, even going to the Derby because it's in the middle of a neighborhood.
Yeah, it's two different worlds. It's outside the track, and then the infield, and those are not the same people.
No,
those people are not from the same planet.
F1 race in Monaco with Ryan Royer would be a lot of fun too. Yeah, Ryan, yeah.
That would be something, Brent. We might be a little bit outgunned out there, I got to admit.
I like our chances, brother. I like our chances. Yeah, well, that was fun. I freaking love riffing with you. I see my boy Greg Hooden is in the he's in the chat. I think it's time we roll into the mailbag. I don't know about you guys.
Let's timestamp real quick. Quick Paper Supply, your local and family-owned restaurant supply company for all your non-food products. They provide mostly disposable restaurant supplies, to-go containers, cups, pizza boxes, to-go bags, can liners, napkins. They've been open since 2009 and are one of the largest minority-owned companies in the city. Call Nick 513-470-2029 and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases. And that, of course, brings us to the Gregory Hooden mailbag. Go see Greg, Beachmont Toyota. He will get you taken care of. Get your new or pre-owned Toyota from Greg at Beachmont Toyota. All you have to do is go in and see him, ask for him by name, or you can hit him up on Twitter and Instagram at Cincy Greg Hooden, CincyGregHoodin. He's also on Facebook or LinkedIn. All you got to do is reach out, and Greg will get you taken care of. Yes, that's you, Greg. That's you. You had a bourbon caramel on your banana pudding at Oktoberfest. That sounds delicious.
That does sound delicious.
A week at the Winter Olympics has been on my bucket list. A week at the Summer Olympics is definitely bucket list for me to go watch some track and field.
That would be fun.
Big track and field guy. Clearly.
And we know you are.
All right. This is the lightest mailbag that I can remember. So let's get it going. Starting the football portion of the mailbag. When will the status of the Godfather be known? What was his injury?
Lower body injury. That's where we're at these days with injuries as far as what they release. Hockey, lower body or upper body. That's what you get. Like I said, we'll ask Satterfield tomorrow at the press conference. The first injury report that's mandated by the Big 12 comes out Wednesday night. So we will at least have an idea here in a day or two of where Dante is at. If I had to guess, it looked like an ankle, but I couldn't tell you that for sure.
All right. And the last question in the football portion of the mailbag. If we win at Kansas, will it be the defense that plays better than expected or the offense? Can we beat Kansas without forcing a turnover?
Well, do we have any turnovers? If it's 0-0, yes. If you lose the turnover battle, you're going to lose. Like it's very difficult to win if you lose the turnover battle, even by one. So yeah, it's they're going to need to get a turnover. If they take care of the football, it's not as much of a factor, but the odds of winning games increases drastically the more you turn the other team over. And Cincinnati has not done it this year. So go do it.
Getting back to the first part of the question, I think it's because the offense plays better than expected than the defense.
Royer, what do you think on this? I mean, yeah, if the offense is clicking, but I mean,
I think we need
what?
one. We need to win it by 1. Preferably 1-0. I don't like it being 2-1 and our offense losing a drive off of that, most likely leading to points, it seems.
Hard to win the field position battle if you're losing the turnover battle.
Correct.
Yep.
Anybody else on the defense playing better than expected or the offense?
I think it has to be the offense. Like you have got to start hitting 30 points. Dave was dead on that one. Like you just can't. Kansas averages over 400 yards a game on offense. They're going to move the ball. Like this offense has to wake up and get cooking. And I mean, you didn't really do it in the non-conference, so you better do it now. It's got to start sometime.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta score. What?
The game against the Demons.
No, that doesn't. Throw it out.
All right. That is the football portion of the mailbag. The basketball portion of the mailbag. Any word on how Chom is looking?
Not really. Practice started today. Generally, the first 3 days or so are heavily focused on defense. All indications are he's been good through summer and then the preseason workouts. But, now is when the rubber really starts to meet the road. So we'll see as things move along. But Wes had good things to say about his back to the basket game being a little bit farther along than they anticipated. So we'll see. I'm expecting big things, more defensively than offensively. But having a guy that can stretch the floor a little bit, and if he's added a little bit more back to the basket game where you can throw it to him and rely on him to be a guy that, can help slow down a run from the other team. Like that's the biggest thing for me on guys being able to score in the paint.
Yeah.
The other team's on a 5-0 run. Can you isolate, throw the ball into your guy in the post, have him get a bucket and kind of stem that momentum where, that's a lot of times that's when those runs happen. You're taking jump shots.
Yeah.
You're missing jump shots and the other team's turning that into points. And last year, Cincinnati didn't have anybody that they could throw the ball to and say, hey, slow down this run. And hopefully that's something Chom can provide.
Kyle Washington.
Gary Clark, Kyle Washington,
Gary
Trey
Clark.
Scott. Like, there hasn't been one of those in a while around here.
Yeah.
That ends the basketball portion of the mailbag. And we'll move on to the Banks portion of the mailbag, as there is nothing in the baseball mailbag. Will your Cincinnati Reds sneak into the third wild card spot? You can't sneak if you're already there. How many wins out of the final 6 games will it take? Over, under 3.5?
Over, for sure.
I think they need 4.
You need to sweep the Pirates and then pray that you can.
You're facing Skeens.
Yeah.
So I'm not writing in a sweep under any circumstance when Skeens is going to be on the bump. But they need 4, I think, because you've got the tiebreaker over the Mets and the Diamondbacks. So if you get to 4, they have to get to 5 before they can beat you. If you're 3-3, that leaves the door wide open for somebody to go 4-2 and take that spot. I think they need to at least go 4-2, get 2 in Pittsburgh, go get 2 in Milwaukee. You'd like to sweep Pittsburgh and then only need 1 in Milwaukee, Ryan, but I'm not going to write down a W over Paul Skeens under any circumstance.
Hey, I like Hunter Green versus Skeens, low scoring game. The Reds sneak a couple in on the Pirates bullpen. You got to get 3 there because Milwaukee is the kryptonite of the Reds, and they'll probably that last game they might roll out some platoon guys. So just
the interesting thing with Milwaukee is going to be, are they going to start setting up their rotation for the playoffs
Yeah.
in that final series.
But they'll have a
don't want
bye.
to beat up. Yeah, they'll have a bye. Also, don't want to beat up their bullpen too much either. So maybe you throw like a AAA guy in there and let them give the Reds a win. But also, I mean, flip side, what the Mets have the Marlins, that series will be real big, and then obviously the Cubs have already clinched. So how much it's an interesting way to look at it. And also the Mets.
The Cubs have to win one game to lock in. What are they? 5? They're 5 games up on the the Padres. So they have to win one game to clinch their seeding in the wild card.
Yeah.
Okay.
Out of their 6. Because they're
in the wild card, but they haven't guaranteed their spot yet.
Yeah.
And they're 3 games up on the Padres.
Yes. It all comes down go ahead, Aaron.
I don't feel good about any of it because this season the Reds have not done well in series against either the Pittsburgh Pirates or Milwaukee. I feel not great about any of this right now.
Well, they're also, Aaron, what's the Reds' longest winning streak of the year?
Right now.
5.
Wait,
and usually they have followed those 5-game stretches by losing like 4 of the next 6.
Well, they had not beaten a 4-game series against Chicago since 18?
Sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's good. It's good to be in this spot, and if they can, win 4 or 5 games, I think they'll be in it. But it is pretty sad outlook on if they do make it happen, flying out to LA for a 3-game series against the World Series favorite Dodgers.
Anything can happen in October, baby.
Yeah,
get in, and then we'll start worrying about that.
I'm just saying that is the reward. It's probably the hardest team that you could play out of the field in the national.
Can they still pass the Padres or?
Yeah, but the Padres would have to. We're 5 games back of the Padres. So if the Padres win 1 game, then we.
No, I think he means the Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
Oh, let me look. I just had the
Dodgers are 3 up on the Padres, so that's probably not happening.
Okay. Unless they play. Do they play each other?
I know the Padres play the Dodgers have the Diamondbacks and the Mariners to close it out.
Mariners are playing well, and they're going to be fighting for their lives to stay above the Astros.
Padres have the Brewers and the Diamondbacks.
Man, you're just sitting down there all happy because your Yankees are already skating through.
I mean, the Yankees, if they can, they're 2 games back of the Jays, and if they can pass the Jays, they'll have the number 1 seed in the American League, which I think I would much rather have that happen than them have to play Boston in the wild card round, because I could just see that going horribly. The Red Sox have beat up on my boys this year, and they've beat up on them in the playoffs here in the past 10-year span. So,
I mean,
they're playing better now, but it's frustrating. They had a 10-game lead throughout the year, and then now they're,
Here's the thing. After what's already happened to the Bengals, you got to think the sports gods that are out there. Let the Reds just sneak in. Just let it happen.
I would just love for them to get, if they make this happen in I just want to see a playoff game at Great American Ballpark so bad. So hopefully, I know the players are tweeting out, pack GABP, get as close to a playoff atmosphere as possible in these final 3 games down on the river.
Yeah, $8
Give the boys some juice.
3-2-1 deals all week or whatever.
Okay, fire it up.
Yeah, I think tomorrow's game will be pretty nuts. Hopefully,
if it doesn't get rained out.
Sure.
BCJ Steph, who are they personality-wise as South Park characters?
I'm not well versed enough to give you an answer.
Me neither. You guys fill us in. Give us.
You guys. I'm going on.
All right, that's the mailbag. Get us out of here, Brent.
All right,
Brent is definitely Kenny.
Doesn't he
For
always
sure.
die?
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
Tough spot.
I'll take Cartman.
Well, since Skins has been MIA, I haven't died in a while, so
yeah, you would be normally you would be Kenny, but Skins is gone. So, what? Ryan Kyle?
I don't know. I haven't watched it in years. I don't even remember.
Let's see here. Yeah, Cartman, Kenny, Kyle, Stan. Oh, I'm definitely Stan. That seems like
Stan's dad.
Brian, you're the principal.
Who, Mr. Garrison? I'm literally just reading South Park characters. Mr. Hanky.
The Christmas poo.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Let's
we're
get
done.
out of here. We're done. That was fun.
Thanks,
know what, guys?
Nico.
We were joined by a legend tonight. The guy, the man, Mr. Nico Palazzetti. So shouts to Nico. Shouts to Danco Transmission Out of Here. Shouts to Greg Hooden. Shouts to Quick Paper Supply. And shouts to Ryan Royer. And shouts to Trey Tucker and Alec Pierce. And you know what, guys? Huge game this Saturday, 12 noon, Lawrence, Kansas. There will be plenty more coverage leading up to that kickoff on BearcatJournal.com. So make sure you lock into that. And more to come, basketball as well. Should be the Big 12 reveal tomorrow, schedule reveal. So coverage on that going to continue. So stay locked in, of course. So for everyone assembled, for the crew, for the squad, for Nico Palazzetti, for Aaron Smith, for Chad Brendel, for Ryan Royer, I am Brent Young. Yet again, another fantastic BBP presented by BearcatJournal.com.
Good night,
See ya!
Greg.